Zelensky's presence at the G7 summit, along with fresh promises of sanctions against Russia and support for Ukraine, is bringing renewed hope to Alberta's Ukrainian community. But as Terry Fikowski reports, some feel snubbed by the early departure of the U.S. president.
Prime Minister Mark Carney welcomes Ukraine's president to Kananaskis, but the meeting was overshadowed by a night of deadly strikes back home.
One of the biggest attacks from the very beginning of this war.
Ukraine's capital was bombarded overnight Tuesday with Russian missiles and drones, killing more than a dozen people and injuring 130 more. Canada is pledging over $4 billion in additional support to Ukraine and new sanctions targeting Russia.
Drones, helicopters, broader munitions, over $2 billion worth of assistance.
Canada's backing and Zelensky's invitation from Carney to attend the G7 summit is monumental for the Ukrainian community.
It's one of the ways to show that the world do not forget us.
Many rallied leading up to his arrival in Alberta and showed other signs of support.
He is a hero. He is our champion.
But there is disappointment with the U.S. president's absence. Donald Trump left the summit early due to the escalating violence and conflict in the Middle East.
Come on, I don't believe he cannot do this from Kananaskis even to make some decisions, but to stay and to show their respect to all those leaders who came.
Watching discussions unfold is Lee Reeney, the chief editor at the Lviv Times. He questioned Trump's early exit after the tense meeting at the White House earlier this year.
There's a big sentiment in Ukraine that he left primarily because he did not want to deal with Zelensky. He did not want to deal with the questions.
Despite Trump's absence, the director of the G7 research group believes Zelensky will consider his trip to the summit a success.
Boy, he's going to walk away from here with a lot more money, a lot more arms, and a lot more sanctions against Russia. So he'll be pretty happy when he leaves.
Premier Danielle Smith posting online greeting Zelensky on his arrival, writing Alberta stands with Ukraine, a sign of hope for those watching the war and heartbreak unfold back home.
Really hopeful that this will bring us a step closer to peace.
And Terry joins us live from Banff. And Terry, officials did meet with the local Ukrainian community today.
And we're told that the president of the Ukrainian Congress of Calgary that we heard there was invited to meet with a high-level Ukrainian official, though couldn't say with 100% certainty that it was the president, though also couldn't say where that meeting was set to take place. Now, Zelensky will leave Canada with more support from Carney and the country, but without a joint statement from the leaders of the G7 summit. They were unable to unify and release that joint statement about the ongoing war in Ukraine and moving forward. By the time that this summit wrapped for 3 days in Kananaskis. Ian?
Terry, thanks very much.